I hope you've had a good week, and we've got a very basic upcycle today, very easy. Before we switch cameras, I'm going to show you what I shared with you last week. We're going to be working on. So this is the basic upcycle. So this could be applied to a shirt or a t-shirt. It doesn't matter. The idea is if any clothing that you wear on the upper part of your body, you can do this too. Obviously not a jacket, but for a basic garment. Right. So you take your shirt, and what I've done, I have done one part of it to start with yesterday, and we've done this before. I'm taking steps 1 from the first upcycle and steps 2 from the second upcycle for this. So you can either use the one I have used, which is take the collar off, so you have a clean face to work with, or you can take it down to the second upcycle, which was a twin set, where we took away a bit more of the collar. We took the collar stand away as well. So you can do it that way, or you can work like this. So then what you then do is you place your shirt on the table like that. And what I did was mark on my shoulder there, I marked a point where I wanted to cut away. We're cutting away the whole sleeve, but not just from the point where the sleeve meets the body. It is the point along the shoulder, depending on where you want it to be. I decided that I wanted it to be about about 10 centimeters along my shoulder. So I've taken it from that point and taken it so mark that point there. I'm taking it from the collar stand to the point where I want it to be, which is 10 inches down my shoulder, away from my neck, my shoulder there. And then you go to the bottom of your sleeve over there, and you mark the point right under your sleeve there, where the sleeve joins the body. This point here, can you see that? Right there. You mark that there. I'm using a pencil today, not pins, because I think we need to be a bit more accurate with this. So I then, doesn't have to be perfect. So you just mark along the body there, a connection to the under sleeve there, like that. Now, can I just take you back? Do this on the one side, so that in case you make a mistake on this side, you can change it while you're cutting the other side. So what you do is you cut this side, fold it like we did all the others. The way we've been working all along is do one side, fold, and then do the other side. That way you make sure that you leave yourself room to make those happy mistakes. So then you take your scissors and you cut along there. Take it all the way to the shoulders. So when you've done that, this is what you should have. A cutaway sleeve. So then you fold it. Make sure you fold it at the point where the buttons, in the center where the buttons are. Fold it like that. And then you should be able to have that mark your other sleeve ready for cutting. Now, just to make sure, what you do is you use pins to hold the fabric in place so that nothing moves while you're cutting. So there we are. So then you cut the other side to match up to this side. So because I've already done that, all I will do is just make sure they're the same. So when you have done that, so they are the same now. So then what you do is you take your pins out of there, and then we're going to drop the inside, which is the front of the sleeve, so that usually the front is deeper than the back of the front sleeve sits deeper into your armhole than the back of the back of the shirt. Sorry, the armhole on the front of the shirt is deeper than the back of the shirt. So what I will do is not going to work that way. You open up your shirt like this. So we're working on the armhole now. Turn it inside out like that. Join under the arm there, the front like that. So loosen it up so that you only have the two fronts together, two front armholes like that. So put a pin in place at the base of the armhole there. And then along the armhole, not connecting with the back of the back armhole, just the front armhole, like that. So you put pins in place. Connecting like that. So all we're going to do is take in just 1 centimeter. So you measure from the armhole under the sleeve, the seam under the sleeve, under the armhole rather, and then you measure about 7 centimeters in, mark that point, and at that point you measure 1 centimeter from the edge of the sleeve there, inside. So from the outside, inside, 1 centimeter there. And then you measure about 10 centimeters from that point to the top, going upwards like that. So you measure from there to there. So basically it will be about 17 centimeters from the underarm seam. And then you mark that point there, almost halfway up that 17, which is about 9-10 centimeters thereabouts, just halfway anyway. You mark 1 centimeter point there. And at that point, you join almost without taking away anything. You make a carve there that comes all the way down to the armhole, coming to the underarm seam there. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm taking it from there, that point there, cut, marking it to that point there to nothing, and then bring it all the way down to the underarm to nothing again, so that I'm creating a carve, almost like a moon shape. And that will help create the carve in the armhole that we need. There. So when you take that away, this is what it looks like. bit of a moon shape there. And then you take your pins away. And then when you look at it, you'll see that. So when you place the front and the back together, you will see that the front dips in more than the back is. So that way, when you wear it, you have a natural curve going under your arm, and then in the back it just lays flat over your back. And then now we have this. So this is where you decide. I don't know what you've decided, what you've done with your collar, whether you've taken it all the way to taken the collar stand and the collar away, or you've just taken the collar away. I kind of like this look, which is what we have here, where you have a collar stand, because you can add things to this. You can add buttons, all kinds of buttons. You can add ribbon, you can add flowers to this. You can create something quite interesting. Imagine if you had, you know, florets like this added to this. So it creates some, you know, interesting detail in the neckline. So you have something like that going all the way to the back like that. So I'm just quite excited to see what this ends up looking like. But, you know, just going back, so if you did that with the red flowers that I have there, you can actually change all the buttons to red, so that you have totally changed this from a white shirt to a colorful, interesting something. And the good thing about adding things to something you've upcycled is when you're fed up with that design idea, you can always take it away and start with another fresh thing, fresh idea. Ribbons, pearls. There's so much you can do with this. This was actually a workman's shirt, so I had pockets on there and pocket flaps that I don't really need, so I'm going to take them away and put some detail on here, you know, running detail that will create some kind of interest on the shirt, but we'll see what this ends up looking like next week. So once you've done this, so you come back to your armhole. So now we're going to finish this off. So what you do is what we've done before, is you fold 1 centimeter in and again, or a much smaller hem than this, which is almost half a centimeter in and again. So if that is not easy to do, go for the larger, but the smaller one is better because it's easier to control. You find it works so much better when it comes to the calves to have something smaller, because then it's easier to manage. So you do that, you put your pins all the way around. So we could do this, you know, you can do this in, you know, later. So that's not important right now. So the next thing is, my shirt didn't have a curved hem, you know, like most shirts would. So it's just a straightforward finish there. So that means I can actually add things to this. So what you can do, you can make it shorter. If you want it to be short, you can add elastic to make this naturally come in like that. You can do all kinds of things with it. So you can wear it with a belt or without a belt. You can wear it open, you can wear it closed. So this becomes a very versatile garment. So you can dress up or dress down over a rolled neck or over another shirt. So it just allows you to be yourself, be creative, and enjoy creating new things and experiencing them as well. So once we've decided, you could take one of the things that I do with my other things is I've kept. Have you saved all the things you've been cutting away? You know, like all the collars, like this. I've saved everything, and I'm hoping you did, because we can actually use these to make other things, especially now where we're all having to wear masks when we go out. It would be a good idea if you've saved all your, sleeves that you've cut away, that you can actually use them. And I'll be able to show you how. Because this is when you've washed and washed and washed something that you've been wearing for years, it's the best thing to use as a cover up for your face, because you've washed out most of the chemicals or any finishing, chemicals or anything that they added to the cloth while they were making it. So that means it's as kind to your body as it would be if it was organic. So without having to go out and look for organic cotton or other organic fabrics, this is one way to be able to make face masks without worrying about the effects of what is in the fabrics that you're breathing in. That's one thing. And another thing you can actually do is you use this as detail on your shirt. So if I decide now that I actually want to do something extra on my shirt, I can take the pink collar like this and add this to my upcycle there. And I think you can already see that that creates a dimension that, very quirky, unexpected. So I might just do that. And because I only have one pink collar, what I will do then is I will take another collar from another upcycle, so it will not be the same. I could decide to use this colorful one, which is the blue and white one, like that, on there, like that. So we have that there like that. Or I could just use the white collar, and that creates some detail there as well. So we'll talk about that. So the main thing you have to do when you're going to use the collar for detail, you have to make sure that you stitch that together to make sure that it doesn't fray anymore, unless you want the frayed, unfinished look, like I have on the shirt I did last week. There. So my sleeve on the shirt I did this is what I did to it. I left it raw seams everywhere. And on the other one, I had clean seams. So that's, two shirts, similar but not exactly the same. So you do that. And then if you have a zigzag machine, or if you have something that can do zigzag, that would be perfect to do that there, just to stop it from fraying. And then you can then stitch it down this way and fold it that way. So you stitch it there like that, on there, turn it that way, turn it over, and you can do another stitch on top of that just to make sure that it stays in place. So I think that will be quite interesting. So that's one thing. Another thing that you can do is you can take, I have the sleeves from one of the other shirts, these sleeves here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and I can use this instead of using the collar on there, or I can actually have it as detail on the shirt like that. So if you decide left or right, it's better to do it on one side rather than two sides. So I would choose the left side of the shirt like that, and I'll go all the way down. So what I did, it was a short sleeve shirt, so I cut it away, cut it off the sleeve like that, and then cut through it like this, and then take this and use it to be detail on this shirt here like this. You can make them thinner, you can make them, leave them not thick, make them even wider, but all you have to do is stitch in the middle, stitch down the side, and stitch down the side, two sides and in the middle. Or you can decide just to stitch down the middle, so you have it loose like that. And if I decide to do it like this, you can either, if you want to be very, very neat and tidy, you can then do a tiny little hem on there, or you can leave it a raw finish. An unfinished, raw edges are very interesting when it comes to adding detail onto a garment. So you can do it like that. So if I do it like this, then I might just decide, I think I want to change the buttons. So you cut away the buttons, cut them off, and then you can stitch on there different color buttons. You can go for black buttons, you can go for colorful pink buttons, you can go for blue buttons. It depends on what you have available. Or you can leave the buttons as they are and just add all this extra detail like that. One thing that I like doing is I like to have very many dangly things. And so I have this lovely contrasting ribbon, pink. And one thing I just thought I'd remind you is that this can be, if it's men who want to do this, and if you want to have this for a man, then you can just keep it very neat and tidy, or just add the crazy, patch pocket, take the pocket off, put another patch pocket on there in a different color, like this, pink, or you can go for the blue like this. It can be quite interesting if you add a pocket on there that is made up of the cuff from another shirt that you've done before. So that would be really interesting if you did that. So you can take, pockets off and put another patch pocket there and another one there. So there too, and that looks really interesting like this. So if you imagine you have two pockets, that's totally change this into something else, and then you can have the green buttons down the front there. So there are many things that you can do then to add more interest to this garment. And because this was a very simple and very basic upcycle, you have more time to play with it. So what I would normally do for my shirts, my upcycles, I love dangly things. So I might just add ribbon, there, and just let that hang and have like a row of 5 on one side and just leave it like that. So you have, 5 dangly bits there, and that way create that interest that you'll want to have in your shirt. Or you can have pink. So if you have the pink, you can then have the pink buttons going down the middle. So these are pink buttons that I think might look really interesting. If I change my buttons, that changes everything. Or you can just add more buttons just to make it really colorful, or buttons all around the collar. So I don't know what I'm going to do. So I'll just decide when I finish this off today, what's going to happen. So see what happens for you. It's all about making it a joyful and happy experience, just being able to explore the possibilities. That's what is good about this. Also, just to say, experimenting with some of the ideas that I shared with you just now, changing all the buttons, adding things to this, stitching down things by hand until you're sure that you really like what you have. If you stitch down a ribbon with a sewing machine, taking it off might not be as easy. So always it's best to stitch down by hand before you then decide, okay, I'm keeping this. Then you can go over it with a machine. That's always best. And then if you decide to change it after 2 wears, then it won't matter if you've done it by hand. So that's, thank you for coming today and for being present. And I hope that you got something out of this class today. Thank you, and I hope to see you next week. Thank you.